Hello, hello, and welcome. Yes, it is me, Damian Michael Williams, and you are watching Working It Out with Damian Michael. This is episode 3. Listen, this show tonight, yeah, it's going to be, as you can see, I'm standing up all over every which way, but yeah, it's all good. We're here. Um, Tonight, we're going to focus the more on our African American kings and the journey. But before we get into that, Damian Michael has to stop, breathe. I want you to do this with me. Stop. Make sure you have your libations and everything you needed. Stop, breathe, and repeat after me. All is well. Start speaking into your life. Even with the craziness that goes on for those of us who deal with chronic depression or high anxiety or both, start thinking and speaking life. Those places where it seems gray, where you don't seem to have any type of understanding. Start speaking life to that. It's going to come to pass. I guarantee, but at the right time. So while you're waiting, be at peace and know that all is well. Let's get into it because I'm kind of excited. How about you? I know you are. You don't have to tell me. Today, I have been afforded the great opportunity to bring on 2 gentlemen who have started a website and also they're on Instagram. And the name of their page is called Stories in Black. And they are going to share more about it. I don't want to give it all away because I'm so excited. I'm just going to just let them go with it. But yeah. And these 2 gentlemen go by the name of Ladu Pearson, and also Eugene Robinson. Hey. Go by the name of hello. And also Eugene.
Good. How are you?
Hey. Awesome. Hello. Turn it down just a little bit. I can hear echo.
Good. How are you?
Hey. Awesome. Uh-oh. I'm hearing echoes there. Yeah. Good old modern day technology. I'm hearing echoes there. Oh. Yeah. Good old modern day technology. Yeah. Does anybody have their device on? Yeah. Good old modern day technology. Yeah. Does anybody have their device on? Yeah. Good old modern day technology. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Does anybody have their device on? Yeah. This is just, gentlemen, just excuse me. This is signification that this show is going to be amazing by the time we get through with this. Here, okay, yeah. Signification that this show is going to be amazing by the time we get through with this. My amazing producer can kind of kick this off there. I don't know what's going on. My amazing producer can kind of kick this off there. I don't know what's going on. If you're streaming, turn down your volume. If you're streaming, turn down your volume. No, that's not working there. Hello? That's not working. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good old modern day technology. Don't you just love it? Wow. So we're going to persevere through this until all these kings get out. Because that's what we do. That's what we kings do. So once again, I have Ladu Pearson and also Mr. Eugene Robinson. It's so amazing to have you two gentlemen. If you wouldn't mind, I'm just going to start here. We're just going to flow into the rest of our conversation tonight. If you wouldn't mind, what is, I'm just going to start here. Stories in Black. Flow into the rest of our conversation tonight. If you wouldn't mind, what is, I'm just going to, whoa. Can't hear you. If you wouldn't mind, what is, I'm just going to, okay. Whoa. Okay. We're going to work on this. Yeah, we're going to work on this real briefly, ladies and gentlemen. We're used to this anyway, so yeah. Okay. Can you hear me? Turn your mic back on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. Turn your mic back on. Okay, we still have a following there. Okay, awesome. This is just whoa. Your mic back on. Okay, we still have a following there. Okay, awesome. Turn your volume off again, please. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, looks like we might have to start this all over because this right now is not doing what it needs to be done here because we're all hearing echoes and things are following and all the good stuff. So give us a quick minute. We're going to log off and we're coming right back. Stay tuned.
Hey, Ladu, can you unmute your mic? Hey, Ladu.
Oh, yeah, okay. I got
Can you unmute your mic?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, perfect. So are you streaming as well as
you unmute your mic?
talking?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
I
so
think
things happening
it's still
here.
an echo, though.
If you're playing the video while you're taking this is why it's coming as a delay for you. So things happening
It's still an
here.
echo, though.
If you're playing the video while you're taking this is why it's coming as a delay for you. So things happening
Yeah,
here.
it's still.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still. It's still.
Eugene, Ladu, keep your. I'm gonna mute your mic. Eugene, can you unmute your mic?
Hello.
I'm gonna mute your mic. Hey, thank you.
Hey.
Hello.
I'm gonna mute your mic.
Yes.
Hey, thank you.
Hey. It's coming after, way after. Yeah, it's dragging like crazy right now. Hey. And I just logged off and came back on. This has never happened, but hey, you know when greatness is around.
Don't worry.
No,
we'll
so
get.
this is what's happening.
Greatness is still in front of us. Greatness is still in front of us.
So
Oh,
let me
yeah.
just explain. So let me just explain what's happening real fast, so we can fix it. So right now everything is fine. Ladu, I have his mic muted because he is somehow playing the stream as we're recording. So that's why you're getting the back of every time.
Oh.
So you can't stream on the same device or have the same device rolling at the same time. Does that make sense? So when I unmute him, that's because it's fine now. We're all great.
Right.
But I'm going to unmute him, and then you'll see what happens. So like my thing is, you have to stream from a different device and remove the volume from that device. So that way it doesn't interact. Otherwise, it's going to be a delayed feedback from the live to the recording. Make sense?
Okay.
I'm not understanding.
Make sense?
Okay. Wow.
I'm not understanding.
Make sense?
Okay. I see what you're talking about. Wow. All right. So we're going to persevere through this. I see what you're talking about. And have an amazing show. So, Mr. Eugene, we're starting off with you. How are you this evening?
I am wonderful. I'm going to text Ladu and tell him like come back out, and he can come back in and just be sign in on one device.
Right, please. Been an amazing day thus far.
I know.
Beautiful out here in California. How's the weather out there?
What part of California?
I'm in Southern California, Los Angeles, preferably Inglewood.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I was born in Los Angeles. My family lives in they live in all parts of Los Angeles, Ontario, San Bernardino.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, before COVID, I was trying to increase my presence in visiting family. I'm out in California. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. I got kinfolk. I got kinfolk in Chi-Town. Come on here.
They are Cali to and through. It's all of my mom's brother, all of her siblings that are still alive are out in California. My mom passed away in August, so all of her siblings are in California. So
my deepest condolences. We send you love.
Thank you. This is
all the great things that
I know. Her spirit is working and making sure that we can launch this project. So she was my biggest advocate and supporter. So
beautiful. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now you have an angel fighting on your side. That's
always,
beautiful.
Always. Beautiful. And she would fight too. So
hey, West Side. I'm just saying, don't take me there now. Welcome back, Ladu. Welcome back. Hey, there he is.
All right.
I told you, see, gentlemen, I told you, this is only going to become greater. It's only going to get better. So now that we're here, please share with me who came up with the marvelous idea of Stories in Black? And when did the partnership start? I mean, this is just awesome.
I'm gonna let Ladu tell that, because that dates back all the way to I think 2007.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow.
Yeah, so the partnership began with our friendship. Eugene and I have been friends for almost over 20 years now. Mm-hmm. So that's where the true partnership began. And Stories in Black came to fruition by us one night having dinner with another mutual friend of ours, Kimberly. And we were just at her house having dinner, and we were just, talking about just shared experiences and talking about our experiences overall as gay Black men. And she was like, you guys really should just kind of write this stuff down and share these stories. And we were like, yeah, we like Gene and I looked at each other and was like, yeah, we really should. And so we got back in the car that night, going back to Eugene's house, and we were like, you know what, we really should do something with this. And like Eugene said, that's around 2007. And we, in the car, we said, yeah, you know what? It should be a book. We should do a book, because we want something that could be a keepsake for people that they can always have. Mm-hmm. And then it quickly turned into the idea of a book into a workshop, because we got the opportunity to do a workshop at Chicago Gay Pride. Eugene was volunteering with them and was working with them for years at that point. So they gave him an opportunity to do a workshop there. So we did the work, we signed up for the workshop, and it was phenomenal. The response was just out of this world. We had a completely full room. People left the other workshops with low in numbers, and they all just shut down and came into our workshop.
Whoa.
And we had a 6 member panel that all shared their personal stories. And then once they shared their stories, people in the audience start standing up and sharing their stories. And then another person got up and shared their story.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it just, me and Eugene just stood there like in the background, like, what is happening right now? And it was just, I mean, people shared everything from, you know, them coming out to their fathers, their mothers, how their friends reacted to everything. And at the end, what we truly learned was that we had the capability of healing ourselves. And when so just sharing your story, just sharing your experience, it helps heal someone else. And it helps, and it gives them the pride and the courage to tell their story. And that's what we saw in that room. So 15 years later, we have went through our own personal journeys, our own sacrifices, our own personal ups and downs, to this point where we were able to redefine what this project was going to be. And we decided that we wanted to do a full-fledged multidimensional website that where Black gay men can come 24 hours, 7 days a week to heal, to celebrate, and to listen, and to connect with each other. And that's what we're doing. So we're starting out with stories in Black: The Journey, which is a series of stories that explore and elevate the unique stories of being Black and gay in America.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So please tell us, what are these stories like? What are these stories revealing? What is producing this healing?
I'm gonna let Eugene go into that.
So I think these stories are about us. They are about you. They are about me. They are about a friend. They're about individuals that we've never met. Right? And so these stories talk about life. You know, from coming out or from not having that conversation. I think the uniqueness and the diversity that's within this project and within Black men, right? And when we think about being a Black man and diversity that comes along with that, and being a Black gay man, what if you think about the umbrella of all of that, and the experiences that we all have in common, and we have different, and how we share our stories, I think allows us to connect with others around. It can be around the similarities, and it can also be around the differences. I think Ladu and I connected on both the similarities of our journey, upbringing, and also the differences, right, of our upbringing and our journey. And so Stories in Black, that's the reason why I say it's multidimensional. So it is the stories that we talk about. It's a platform that's, to explore and to elevate those unique journeys through storytelling, through our voices, and for us to control our narrative as, what it means to be a Black gay man. And also, I think some of the stories that the earlier stories that you will hear, and we know that it'll continue on, is we don't separate being a Black man from being gay, right? And so I think it's really important. And so we have the website. Stories in Black is the platform where we're telling those stories. Then we also have our roundtable discussion called Fellowship, this idea of coming together to fellowship, to have discussions and talk about the things that that we should be talking about dating, about health, about life, about marriage, about family, all within that context, as well as the docuseries called The Blackout. And so that explores a deeper sort of journey into the coming out experience for Black men.
Now, this is extremely interesting because, as we know, a lot of us never get the chance to come out ourselves, as we talked about earlier. Either you're pushed out or something drastic or a travesty happens to where, I always had an assumption, I always knew. But I mean, it was always something that hurt us, that left a scar. And which reminds me of one of my life experiences. I was 14 years old, called out and stood up in front of a packed out church.
Oh, wow.
told Michael, we love you. You've been here since his church was born. But if we ever find out that you're with a man or another woman's husband, which actually, even then, I was never for the community. I never wanted anything used nor borrowed. So that right there was confusing. But, they said, if we ever hear that you're with a man or another woman's husband, we're going to put you out the church.
Oh, wow.
14 years old. I healed, but I'll never forget it.
Right.
Because one, I was not given the opportunity to choose to embrace my truth, because it's there no matter what.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if we really want to go there, we can even talk about human sexuality. But even so, that put me in such a place of wow. I mean, even with all the extreme emotions that I felt, in that very moment, I felt myself growing.
Yeah, and I think that's the key. I think, as you said, for a lot of us, it's shame is put on us coming out and being who we are, particularly in the particularly in the Black community. Like, if it's not the norm, if it's what we don't, if it isn't what they see as valuable or what they think is normal or what should be praised, it is cast out to be something evil, something really, really, really bad, and what Eugene and I are trying to do with this project is not define what coming out is. It's actually, we're trying to redefine it. And redefine it in a way of whatever it is for you, however you decide that you want to be, however you want to come out and how you want to be defined as, it's okay. And it's in whatever part of your journey, wherever you are in any part of your journey, it's okay. If you don't know if you're gay right now, if you know that you are attracted to men and you still attracted to women, that's okay. If you want to be out and proud and be the most flamboyant thing out there to say what gay is, that's fine as well too. And everything in between all those things I just mentioned is fine. And for me coming out, and Eugene and I talked about this several times, like for me, coming out has become less about saying that I'm gay, that I like men. It's coming out as the best me that I possibly can be. Discovering me, defining who I am as Ladu Pearson, as a person, as a man, as a Black man. Who am I? What do I want to represent? What do I want my legacy to be? What do I want to stand for? What do I want the world to know me as? That is coming out to me now. I've already did the I like men thing. So now it's also about, hey, what do I want to carry on? What do I want to be? What do I want to be seen as in this world? And so at any stage, with Stories in Black, the website, at any stage that you are at, you are welcomed and you are loved, you are valued, your experience is deemed to be important. And that's what where we want. So you, as that 14-year-old little boy, can come to this website after being outed in such a wrong and disrespectful and not honoring way, and can come to this website and see other Black boys, other Black men like yourself, and get that pride that they try to take away from you.
And it's walking, and Ladu hit it right on the nail, and like and walking in your own sort of truth, and walking and living your best life, living your best self, right? And I think we also through Stories in Black, we are going to be intentional about making sure that we have individuals, we're not handpicking, the stories, right? We're going to find, we're going to look for individuals. We're going to set up the website for others to create a movement where folks will feel proud and want to share their story. Like when we first did the workshop, there was a couple who said they heard about the workshop from their mother and mother-in-law, right?
Wow.
She was on Windy City Black Pride, had posted it on the website, and and she told her son and her son-in-law, you guys have to go be a part of this. You have to tell your story. I want to make sure that you are elevated. And I think that's really important. And so, and that's what we're trying to do with this project is we're not going to define it, right? You're on a journey. And we also want to make sure that for that future, for that 14-year-old and that 16-year-old, 17-year-old currently today, I grew up in Chicago in the 90s. This was not around when, I was looking for resources, looking for images that look like what would be my future self. I didn't see your future, Eugene. So we're also hoping that this project, and part of what we want to do, because I work in education, so my background is, in education, background is work. We also have a commitment to gift these videos to educational institutions to so that they can use it as a resource. Our goal also is to develop a curriculum for schools to be able to show these videos and use these videos for school social workers and counselors to be able to show this positive. It's also a positive image. Like, you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what you can't see or what you don't see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. True, yeah. So true. I mean, all right, Professor Eugene. Hey, I love it. Listen, before we go any further, I have to stop and affirm the both of you amazing, beautiful, dynamic fellow kings, because this is awesome. And to know that this dream started way back in 2007, both of you are living proof that dreams do come true.
Yes. Well, thank you. I mean, and again, we should have said this from the beginning. Thank you for even allowing us to even be a part of your amazing platform. And you are an amazing king yourself. And what you're doing is spreading, knowledge, information, and awareness on mental health is absolutely outstanding and amazing. And thank you for sharing your personal joy, for being vulnerable enough to share your, for sharing your journey. At the end of the day, it's your journey. And, you have and will and continue to help as many people. And we thank you for that.
I'm humbled. I'm excited. I'm equally excited to have the both of you on here, because when I got wind and word of Stories in Black, I'm like, wait a minute, who they is? I had to go there, you get African Americans, who they is, right. I was just so elated. And Andre Fields and I were just like, oh, okay. So they're doing this. This is actually happening.
And believe me, for us, like for this day, we still are like, is this really happening? Like, is this really, really happening? And so we're
here. You're here.
And just so you know, and I'm happy and proud to say this. Ladu and I have been very intentional about who we partner with. We've been very intentional. The person who developed our logo is Black. The person who developed our website is Black. The production company that we're working with is Black. And so everybody that, and it's important to us that everybody that is connected to this project is, they can be an ally, they can identify with LGBTQ or whatever they identify with. The one thing that we are seeking is Black excellence and Black talent. And so those are the folks that we are partnering with. So everybody on this project, our goal is to make sure is Black.
Hey, and the both of you keep saying a word that just jumps out at me every time you say it: intentional. Yes. When you're intentional, your steps can't help but set you in the right direction.
Exactly.
That's why I know this Stories in Black, not only is it going to last forever, but it's going to be amazing. It's going to reach the masses.
Well, thank you for that.
Both of you have been and are intentional. That's why I had to stop and affirm and just say thank you for answering the call to this life journey, because this is a journey.
It is,
and it's not easy. It's not all peaches and cocktails. It's not, and I understand, especially when you have something on your heart or on your mind, in your spirit, and you just know that this is something you have to do. This is part of your purpose, and it can be heavy sometimes. But to know that both of you stayed the course lives are going to be, greater in a greater form now because of the both of you. Somebody's not going to give up because of the both of you. So
And
from here, I want to go a little bit deeper.
Okay.
How do you think, and Eugene, I'll start off with you. How do you think, Professor Eugene? Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah.
There's no doctorate in my future. My boss might be watching, but I'm letting you know there's no doctorate in it.
I'm speaking it out, huh? Yeah, I really want to get both of your opinions on how do you think these personal stories, these stories in Black, that all of us have experienced at one time or another, how do you think that affects our mental wellness?
Yeah.
Eugene?
I think I'll just come from my space.
Please.
I think that I was very fortunate and blessed that I was in a home environment when I came out the age of 20. And so I was very fortunate and blessed that I had a loving mother and a mother who was a fierce advocate. And but I also think that it's also equally important when asking that question and going back to that question, that it impacts us when we don't have, when as we're coming of age, I'll say, as if I, coming of age and coming into my own and coming into my identity and who I am, and I don't see, I'm looking for images, I'm looking for resources, if there's some demonization that is happening where you're growing up, if you are being sort of singled or casted out, like all of these things can impact your mind, it can impact your body, it can impact your spirit. And when we think about the overall mental health and when those things get attacked and leave you feeling as though that you are not loved and not valued. And so, and you can carry that on for years and years and not really realize, right, that you are broken and you are damaged from those experiences and from that experiences. And so it could, impact future relationships, friendships, love relationships, jobs, just your overall sort of mental health, right? I often say hurt people, right? And so if you are hurt and you are damaged, right, that can just play a toll on your future self. And so, and that's the reason why this project is really also important for us. And we believe in heal. That's one part of it. So we're going to promote, we have a part on the website that talks about the mind, body, and spirit, right? How do you protect your space? How do you, we had an opportunity to connect here with the organization Near North Health here in Chicago. And so hopefully they're watching and engage in a conversation of how this partnership can be connected to an organization like Near North Health to be able to be your additional resources along the lines of sort of providing an outlet to have a conversation in mental health. So I think when we think about the broader, like, that's the reason why we also are gifting it to schools, the idea around gifting it to schools and developing a curriculum so that it's a part of a sort of broad way of supporting young Black men who are coming of age, coming into the identity, coming into their own space of being a Black man, right? It's, we also think about how important it is, the same importance of having a Black doctor or a Black male doctor, right? I switched to a Black male doctor. That experience alone this year is much different than what I had before. So I think it's a whole picture. And so we see this as being a part of supporting the overall mental health to support Black gay men.
Awesome. Ladu, please share.
I
How do you
totally
think this is affecting the mental wellness?
Yes, like for me, I think it goes to the point of mental health is of being able to define yourself. I think sometimes I think a lot of us start with issues that don't belong to us. It's our parents' issues, it's the world issues, and we have to sort through all those things first to even figure out what our own personal issues are. So we spend a lot of our lives fighting things that don't belong to us. issues that don't belong to us, that is not ours, that was given to us by our parents, by the world, and everything else. And so, and when you come out of that, when you're able to climb yourself out of that, then you begin to find who you are. And it's, well, what is really my issues? Who am I? What do I want to be? And that's when sometimes I feel coming out can be so free. Can be so free, because it's like it's you affirming that I have acknowledged and determined this is who I am. This is the person and the people who I want to love. And love is what heals and carries us throughout our entire journey. And the more love that you get, the bigger your soul and your heart can be. And I think, and again, that's what this project is about, is to show that love, to show that Black men are filled with love, not hate, not violence, not insecure. We all have insecurities, but like we are filled with love, and that's the premise of who we are. We want to be known, not the world that try to tear us down. So for me, mental health, the project is focused on mental health. It's just getting to know yourself. We want people to be in those moments when you are by yourself, alone, without the clothes, without this YouTube channel being on, without you being the most successful man in your corporate office, without you having your Mercedes, your big house. When you are on your own, by yourself, in that mirror, that you are able to love what you see in that mirror.
Because as I always say, love first starts with you.
And even for us, coming out these stories, you have to come out to yourself first. You have to acknowledge who you are yourself. I'm 40, so I'm still acknowledging things about myself, and some of the things irritate the crap out of me,
Brother, I'm 44, so trust me. First of all, welcome, and then I get it. Trust me.
Exactly.
And you sit here and be like, you know better. You know better. You know what you need to do, but yet the thing not to do feels the best, and that's what you do.
It's more convenient. Yeah, exactly. I mean, first of all, before we go any further, gentlemen, I want to know, can we post your cash apps, because y'all just preach. So we need to know where we need to send tithes and offering, because y'all just went on in there. I mean,
because it's important that we're showing the human side, right? We're showing life, right? We're showing the journey. Like, I came out to my mother at 20, and hopefully my sister was watching. My sister was like, you got to go tell her. I'm like, I'm not going to tell her anything. And I told my mother at 20, and my mother was like, oh, I knew already, right? And so, and then it took me a while. What we don't talk about is it took me a while to come into that space. So we thought, I think because the world, what we've shown the world is, the white gay man way of coming out, or what out looks like. No, that ain't it's not.
Yeah.
It took me a while.
Not for us. No,
not for us, right? And I think that's what we're used to seeing. So it took me a while to start walking in my own, in my own space, and taking one step at a time as I go through this journey. And I'm 41 now, so.
Welcome on in. See, we in the 40s club representing here. Come on here.
All right.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, gentlemen, we've been waiting for you. What you guys are doing, the both of you are doing, will reach people that mid television and others couldn't reach, that the preacher man couldn't reach.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's true.
That anybody else in power couldn't have reached.
Yeah.
All because of you. Thank you for that. I'm going to throw out some things, some topics, some issues, and I would really like your inputs on these. Okay? All right. You ready? All right. Yeah. Take a sip. Little drink. Get it right. Cheers for that. But I mean, yeah. Okay. Here we go. Open relationships versus monogamy.
Ooh,
Your thoughts?
okay. We starting out big.
We go there. Oh, we go there. Here. Yeah, we want it all. Yeah.
Well, I will start.
Okay.
All for monogamy. I do believe I still am one of these little saps that believe in true love and that with one person and really, having your soulmate. I am very blessed to have two best friends that are like my soulmates.
Mm-hmm.
So I have an inkling on how that will feel
Right.
with a romantic, with a romantic relationship, because like there's nothing in the world that I don't share with them that that they don't know about me per se, and so like I always use that as a kind of like a baseline of like, okay, like I want this what I have with them, just with the romantic side added on to it, because it's nothing that I can tell them do or be that they won't accept and that they won't love and they won't cherish about me. So I want that. But on the other hand, on that, I do understand open relationships. I do understand that people, I think if you find someone who you all have like interests and, a sexual interest and things like that, and y'all both are very sexual people, and you all have a great understanding to what that looks like for you guys, then I say do whatever makes you happy and whatever works in your relationship. I'm not a judgmental person when it comes to that. Does it work for me? It wouldn't work for me. It wouldn't work for me.
Hey, but this is your truth, right?
This is your truth, but I do understand it, and I get it, because at the end of the day, like we all love a good little toss around in the bedroom. So to someone. So if
a little rumple in the hay,
what it is. For me, I particularly at this stage, particularly at this stage in my life now, I really want that tussle and rumble in the bed sheets with someone who emotionally I'm connected to, and who is emotionally connected to me, who I say who owns me and I own them. And I mean, not in the sense of like they literally like they own me.
You mad. None of that. I can Tina.
Yeah, exactly. They take full responsibility of me, and I take full responsibility of me, that every decision they make in their life is geared towards both of our lives. What will make us happy, not just them. Who's who will look at this tonight and beam with pride, and this will be foreplay for them. They be like, I just seen my baby on here. It's on tonight. Once you get off that thing, we'll have a couple of drinks and we're gonna go get and make a little toss in that bedroom tonight. Because I see you happy and you doing what you are meant to do in life, and that turns me on. I'm connected. I want to connect to me in that way. So yeah, for me, it's monogamy. Eugene,
gotcha.
Tell what you.
Eugene, professor.
For me is it's monogamy. You go off of what what you see. Like I'm very fortunate. I think that like households play a role sometimes in how you view things and how you approach things, and life experiences also play a role in how you view. And I think for me, monogamy is important. But I don't judge. I don't comment. Like if someone has an open relationship, that's what works for them. I'm not there every day. But I do, have, if I have a partner and, if I have to put on a costume to look like a different person, I'm gonna put on a costume to a different person. You want me to jump across the room or whatever, I'm gonna do, right? So, to spice it up. I think it's all about spicing it up and creativity and love and passion and all of those things that come along with being in a relationship. That's what I would prefer to do, but I didn't necessarily wouldn't judge anyone if they had an open relationship, because it works for some and it doesn't work for others.
Yeah,
right.
And could I add one more thing? Talking about the mental health side of it, like I would want people to understand that you have to define what is a relationship for you. You cannot let someone else define that for you. If you are not clear about that, of being monogamous or being in an open relationship, then you have to know that what works for you, and you cannot do things that doesn't work for you to make someone else happy, because it's going to only tear you down. So if you both come to an agreement and it works, and at any point, just like Eugene and I say with this project, at any point in your journey, in any decision, a part of your journey, bedroom, relationships, whatever it is, work, whatever, you can change your mind and redefine that. So if it works for you in the beginning, that to be in a relationship or something you decided to work for you because you are caring and loving for this person, and you now realize that seeing them with someone else is not serving you in that way, then you are allowed to change that and voice your opinion.
Yeah.
Because again, the trap and the damage is not acknowledging you, not acknowledging who you are and what you want and what feeds you. And when you don't do that, that's when the mental health issue comes in. So have your fun, but also listen to your soul and yourself and say, okay, we had enough fun. I want a person to myself. And that's okay if you change your mind.
Now, I have some, and also we have some questions from our viewers. So we're going to get to those in a minute. But I want to first ask, because you just hit on something, Ladu, and it just really pierced me, because especially in the LGBTQ community, we're so aimed to get the outer in order before we get the inner in order. Before we get to know ourselves. We want to make sure that you're sexually compatible, even though I'm halfway nuts and haven't seen about myself. But you
got a body, and
you have all the physical accoutrements.
You got everything I need,
we gonna make it. Nope.
And then you afraid to go to sleep at night with him in the room. So
that part is like, oh God.
Right.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's just one of my observations. Because as much as I talk, I watch and listen much more than I talk, and I've seen that over and over again. I've counseled many, and it just gets me. I'm like, okay, you are so hard on working on this, but your mental and everything else within you is off balance and off alignment.
Because that's what they're told their value is. They saw the reaction that people gave them with their body or their sexual prowess or anything else like that, and so then they took that on like that's the only way that the only way that
I'm able to get something from it. So it's been able to generate different things, and Ladu and I talked about this recently. Is the type of person I would date now is much different than when I was 20 years old, right? Yes. That's because I got to know me better. I worked on me both on the inside and the outside. I got comfortable with me. I mean, my best friend knows this, and Ladu and several other people know this. For a while, I never owned a mirror, right? Because I had to get comfortable with, it's just, I didn't want to see, right? Because I was so fixed on the outer, right? And I never owned a mirror because I always liked what I saw in the mirror. And so I had to spend time working on myself, but I'm also surrounded by individuals who will remind me of my inner beauty and outer beauty, right? And so I think that that's also important too, is surrounding yourselves with individuals who's going to support you to and through, and having that community of love and support. So I think that also contributes to, but you got to continue to work on yourself. And it is a journey, right? Yeah. But I'm also an advocate for counseling. So I think to not try to do it by yourself, I think, I go to therapy every Tuesday, every week.
Yes, awesome. I want to, gentlemen, before we go any further, because this is getting so good. Okay, so one of our viewers would like to know, what are your thoughts on the division between being Black and identifying as gay and within the gay community?
I'll let you
repeat what you said. It went out.
What are your thoughts on the division between being Black and identifying as gay within the gay community?
Being Black and identifying as gay and gay community. I think I'm Black and I'm gay and I'm a man. So when we think about the sort of intersectionality of identity, I'm not pulling those apart. That is who I am. And I think that division exists if we take, if we look at it from sort of white male, white privilege sort of lands, they have the ability to lead with being gay, right? Because of their white privilege or their white male privilege. And so for me, I define myself as a Black gay man. And I think in this project, and that's the whole point of this project, is we want to highlight the intersectionality of those identities and how individuals identify and define it. But I will tell you that the men that we've interviewed thus far related to this project, they identify as a Black man first.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. And it's so ironic that we're having this show on this evening, because earlier today, and I felt so strongly about it, I had to make a post. And it basically stated, "Dear gay Black men, you're beautiful, you're worthy, you're seen and heard. You're perfect just the way that you are. Love, another gay Black man." I mean, I had to. That's one of the things that I just thrust into doing. I love to encourage and uplift.
Yes.
It's a part of my being. And I felt it so strong, almost to tears, when I was, creating the post. Because we have so far to go when it comes to affirming each other.
Yes.
Speaking well to and of each other. Instead of saying, "Ooh, you might want to watch, you're getting too fat," or anything else negative.
Yeah.
Or could be seen or embraced as negative. Because I'm like, certain things we need to be mindful of what we say anyway, because you don't know where that person is at mentally or emotionally.
This is so true.
And I also think
that use wisdom.
And I also think that any space that you enter that doesn't allow you to be who you are, however you identify, you should leave. Right?
Amen. True.
Right? So I think that's important. So we think about the gay community. I have my stories, and we can talk offline about this. Like, I can give you some stories. I think, Chicago is a very segregated community, rather city. And I think it has, it plays out even in the gay community, right? When we think about, we think about how resources for the gay community, including Black and white, are distributed or access points throughout the city. It's definitely improved compared to when I've, grown up in the 90s here in Chicago. But I think that that's important to acknowledge, that there is a difference when it comes to Black gay men being able to access the same resources that are afforded to gay white men.
Yes.
Definitely. Wow. Parting is such sweet sorrow. I don't want this to end. Before this ends, first of all, I have to say thank you again. You could have done anything else this evening, but tonight you chose Working It Out to be here and to encourage our viewers. So just know that the both of you are extremely loved and necessary. And before I let you go, tell our viewers your website, where they can find you, all of that good stuff. Please go.
Well, you can find us currently right now on Instagram. It's at Stories in Black. We're also on Twitter, same thing, Stories in Black. Facebook is coming this week as well too. It'll be Stories in Black as well too. Our website launches February 28th, 21, where you will get to see all the things Eugene mentioned earlier, like the full stories, because right now on Instagram you just the trailers for the story. Those are not the full stories, and some people have commented like, "Oh, this story is really amazing." It's like, no, this is just the trailer for it. It's a whole for what they talk about it, and the way that we did it is really, really amazing. Of what, like, it's a chapter for each person. It's like they talk about their love life, their coming out to their family, and then their overall hopes and desires for themselves. So that is Stories in the letter N Black, the .com that will launch on February 28th, and we're just super excited. We're super excited. We cannot wait for the world to see what we have come up with. And for us, as Eugene said earlier, we were very intentional on how we did this project, again, at who we involved in the project, because we want it to be a beautifully wrapped gift from us to us. And we want you all out there in this audience to unwrap it and get filled with so much pride and so much joy that this was done for you. And that is our hope. When you enter the website and go, that you just say, oh wow, this was done for me.
Right.
Wow. Gentlemen, please,
we want to create a movement. It's a movement. We want to create a movement. And so we hope folks are inspired this evening to feel free to reach out to us. I'm in Chicago, Ladu is in New York. And so we are working collaboratively to cover a wide area. We want to share the stories.
Oh, promise you. In 2007, this movement started. And it's nothing but getting better and better, greater and greater. Gentlemen, please say you'll come back, please.
Yes.
Awesome. You heard it. You guys heard it. They're coming back.
Yes. And again, we want to thank you again for just your amazing platform and what you're doing to highlight just the beautifulness of Black men, and especially Black gay men and overall. And God bless you, and you keep doing what you're doing. And again, we cherish you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Professor Eugene and Ladu. You know, I had to get it right there now. Thank you so much again. I appreciate you. I'm humbled that you're here. We love you, and we will see you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, I promise you, this is one for the books. Eugene Robinson and also Ladu, King Ladu, as I call him. Pearson, this has been one of the greatest shows, and I hope, and I'm sure there's something in here that you could take to your personal time, your time of meditation, your time of deep thought. And of course, before we get off here, before I say goodbye or see you later, we have to talk about my fellow beautiful kings and queens who deal with things on a much more chronic level. Chronic depression, it could be high anxiety, be a list of things. But we need you to know here at Working It Out with Damian Michael, you're never alone. There's someone waiting for you, waiting to listen to you or be an open ear or give you some words of advice in life. Don't be afraid. Give a call to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. Once again, that's the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, and the number is 1-800-273-8255. Once again, my name is Damian Michael Williams, and also, before I get off here, make sure, if you want to, you can also check out www.nami.org. That's www.nami.org. Once again, this is Damian Michael Williams, and you're watching Working It Out with Damian Michael. So, until then, focus on the positive and defy the odds. Because no matter what you have going on the inside, you are still powerful, you are still necessary, and overall, you're still amazing. So be encouraged. All right? I love you. We love you. Till next time. Bye.